Hey, if you're new to the channel, my name's Sean. I'm a full-time clothing eBay reseller, and we have a what sold, but I'm changing it up. It's not my daily sales like I used to do. This is the best of the week, so hope you guys enjoy. So the next item I sold was a pair of Proper. It's the Woodland Camo Cargo Pants. Now these are like a military style pant. Proper is just one of the companies that develops these. These are discontinued. They would go under like the collectibles for military. That's where I put them at least. This one sold for $17.49 plus $8.99 shipping. On these, I usually price them at $29.99 plus shipping because that seems to be the rate if the size is right. But if somebody offers me something, especially if it's a repeat buyer, I usually decide to go with it because I want them coming back to my store and purchasing more items. An easy way to tell if it's Woodland is it's gonna have that iconic camouflage look, and this is the one you're gonna wanna buy. Next up, we have a pair of Ariat FR jeans. These are the ones where I bought for $10. They had stains all on the front because someone in the oil field or possibly a welder was wearing these. These sold for $25 plus $8.99 shipping. I listed them all high at $39.99, and I've been selling them between $20 and $30 plus shipping. Ariat is one of the stronger, like, common jean brands that I find here in Texas, and anytime you see FR on any item, you definitely want to take a second look because it can add a few dollars to the price. Another jean sold, this is the Levi's 527s. Levi 527s is one of the more popular cuts. The 560s were really popular about a year ago, and they're still somewhat popular, but the 527 is a boot cut jean, and it's actually one of the ones that I will pick up around like the $6 to $8 mark. This one sold for $17.49 plus $8.99 shipping. Something to remember whenever you're selling jeans is the size. Usually I try to stay between 32 and 36, but say it's like a 30 waist but a 38 inseam, that jean can also be valuable, but it may take longer to sell. This next item is pronounced hook, even though it's spelled H-U-K. I call it Huck because that's what it looks like, but it is hook. Many of you guys out there have told me I've been pronouncing it wrong. This is a long sleeve 2XL green performance shirt. It sold for $17 plus $8.99 shipping. I find this item and I usually spend up on it just because it seems to sell a little bit more than like the PFGs and some of those shirts. I probably could have got more money for this, but you know what? I'm pretty happy with the sale. Anytime I can sell anything for like 15 plus shipping or more, I usually end up taking it because I'm only spending on average like $4 for each of these items. The next sale is one of these Peter Millar Scotty Camerons. This is the all over bottle print, and I priced this one up pretty high. I did accept a lower offer, but he still paid $85 plus $8.99 shipping. All these Scotty Camerons were an amazing find. I had them all at one thrift store. Somebody had just donated a lot. I didn't realize how expensive they go for. I'm glad I picked up all these shirts. I paid between $5 and $7 for each one, and one gentleman had bought 3 of them for $240. This is the next one to sell, and he's all in for $85 plus $8.99. This is another polo that I picked up the same day. This is Rowback. I've never found a Rowback, but this one sold for $40 plus $8.99 shipping. I probably could have held out for a little bit more money, but I'm totally fine getting 40 plus shipping on something like this. If you guys see that sourcing video that I had, that's where I picked up all these items, and they're towards the tail end of that day. It was actually like the last 2 stores I went to, and I found all these good shirts. This next sale was a Ren Spooner. Now, I've seen Ren Spooners go for a lot of money. This was the long sleeve with all this floral print. I didn't get a whole lot for it. The market seemed to be around 30 plus shipping. I ended up accepting an offer of $20.99 plus $8.99 shipping, so right around that $30 mark, but I have seen some of these go for much more money, like the short sleeve camp Hawaiian type shirts. So the next sale, we got this Roundtree in York. Yes, Roundtree in York does sell. It sold for $13 plus $8.99 shipping. What's interesting about Roundtree in York is you got to find a tall or big size and it will sell. The regular sizes, it's not going to sell for much or very fast. Next up, we have this Tory Richard short sleeve button shirt. It's got this crazy print on it. When it comes to Tory Richard, there's a lot of different ones out there. I usually just see if it catches my eye and then I look up the comps. This was only a men's size medium, but it sold for $15.99 plus $8.99 shipping. This next one is a vintage pair of Levi's. You can tell it's vintage because it has the orange Levi's tab in the back. This gentleman sent an offer of $31.01 plus the $8.99 shipping. I was happy to accept this offer because I had them listed pretty high and they just weren't really moving, but you know, he got a good deal on an old pair of jeans and I hope he likes them. Sold a short sleeve Abercrombie & Fitch. A lot of people pass on these Abercrombie & Fitch polos. This sold for $12.99 plus $8.99 shipping, which was my asking price for this shirt. If you can find these polos for less than like $3, I think they're pretty good sellers. It's not like the fastest moving shirt, but this is just a plain orange polo and it sold for, you know, $22. Next up, this is another big and tall shirt, but this is a Ralph Lauren. It sold for $29 plus $8.99 shipping. That's like the max price that I usually get for these types of shirts. The cooler the print, the bigger the size, the more money you can make. I talk about them a lot on this channel, but the Ariat jeans, These are good sellers here for me in Texas. I find them all the time. I'll pay up for these. They sold for $25 plus $8.99 shipping. I gave the guy a deal, but hey, that's what I like to do with my store. If somebody sends a healthy offer, I decide to accept it and hopefully get them as a repeat customer. We sold some Southern Tide shorts. If you see this little fishy right here, they have clothes. It's a clothing brand, obviously. They have long sleeve button shirts I sell quite often. These are chino shorts. They're just beige. I sold them for $15 plus $8.99 shipping. This item right here is a CCM hockey jersey. This was a New York Rangers. It had Mike McDonald. I think it's Mike McDonald was the player that was on it. It sold for $15 plus $8.99 shipping. I don't know much about hockey jerseys, but I know some can go for a lot of money, similar to NFL, where there's like a big range of prices when it comes to jerseys. I don't really know the category that well, but I figured I would kind of like dip into it. And for like $3.50 into what, 15 plus 9, 24, like that's a pretty good margin that I like to be at. This right here is a vintage Harley Davidson black. It's actually a short sleeve shirt, but the sleeves have been cut off, so I use the word chopped in the title. This has Austin, Texas on it. Austin, Texas is a pretty big city in the country, so it's pretty popular. I priced these at like $29.99 because the value on some of them were really high and some were kind of low. I accepted an offer of $19 plus $8.99 shipping. I actually found a big lot of Harley Davidson stuff. In some of my older videos, like before I gained a lot of followers, they kind of show like this haul, and I paid, I think, like $2 a piece whenever I averaged it all out. So really good on the vintage Harley Davidson. If they had the sleeves and they all had the single stitch, which all the 91s pretty much do, to my knowledge, they would have sold for a lot more money, but the chop sleeves definitely takes a little bit of value. I've been selling them left and right though. There's only like a handful left and I'm still getting really good money. Next sale was a pair of Ariat trouser women's denim jeans. Now Ariat trouser is a pretty good brand. They also have the Ariat real denim jeans. Those I think are a little bit better. They might be newer, I'm not entirely sure. These did have like a little bit of damage and they're size 28 short. So I accepted an offer of $15 plus $8.99 shipping. I paid about $5 for these. When I find the Ariat real denim, I'll pay up to $10 for those if they're in really good condition, because those sell closer to like the 35, 40 plus range. These right here with the damage, you know, I got 15 plus $8.99. So not too terrible, but it's definitely like the price range of jeans I want to get out of because it takes up a lot of space compared to like the t-shirts and whatnot. So that's kind of how I'm transitioning out of jeans, just kind of getting them sold and not picking them up unless they're $40 plus jeans. Right here we have a FootJoy. This is FJ. It had a Texas Rangers Golf Club embroidery on the front. When it comes to embroidery on golf polos, you're going to want to look for stuff that's golf related. If you have like a company related embroidery, it's not going to do as well. Now this sold for $14 plus $8.99 shipping. So for this type of polo, I think that's a great deal. And it is white, so make sure to look for stains if you're picking up white. This item right here is the Kjus. It's Kjus. Kjus, it's probably like a German name or something like that. I'm not really sure. This had a company embroidery on it. It's a long sleeve quarter zip. If this wouldn't have had the company embroidery on it, it probably would have been like a $40, $50 piece. But instead, I listed it $29.99 plus shipping. I accepted $15 plus $8.99 because it did have that company embroidery on it. So it does decrease the value a little bit on something like this. But this is a really good quality material. It's a good brand, and they do well with like their keeping things kind of like the market small, like they're not flooded all over the place. So these are pretty good pickup if you can find them. Even with company embroideries, they will still sell. All right, so we have this Lacoste polo. Now Lacoste can be kind of tricky because the sizing is like a number sizing. I just have a website saved and it's bookmarked and it shows what the translation is. I think it's French sizing possibly. This is the vintage washed Lacoste polo. It's not like vintage in age, it's just called that. I guess it gives it that vintage look. This sold for $24.99 plus $8.99 shipping. It's the first time I ever found this style of Lacoste, but definitely the better selling Lacoste. All the other ones don't sell for this kind of money, at least not for me. So we've got this Denim & Supply Ralph Lauren. This is a blue kind of floral, like the old school floral print. It sold for $22 plus $8.99 shipping. Denim & Supply Ralph Lauren is actually pretty desirable and it's kind of hard to find. I don't come across it very often. This is Mizzen & Main. Mizzen & Main was pretty expensive, but it's kind of fallen off in recent months. I do find it pretty often. It's usually priced up. It has a nice feel to it. You can tell it's a little bit better quality than some of the other shirts. This sold for $17.49 plus $8.99 shipping. So this was a massive, massive multi-quantity order. These are some FootJoys. They're actually Pro Series golf shirts, and a lot of them were new attacks. I had bought a bunch of them at one time, and this customer offered me $45 for each of them, and he ordered 24. So that his grand total was $1,147.76. I'm definitely going to pay for insurance on this. I'm going to pack them all up. But yeah, if you see the FootJoys and it has the collar embroidery here, and you can figure out the player that it actually was like his kit. They do these kits where they provide the player like a bunch of different shirts, and he only gets to pick like a couple to actually wear. Well, the rest of them, I guess they donate them or they went to his parents' house. I'm not really sure how it happened, but it ended up in my hands, and I was able to sell them to this guy all in one shot. So definitely going to pack this one up safe and make sure it gets there on time and with insurance. That's the best sales that I had in the last week and a half or so. I'm going to do these what solds probably every week and just kind of give you the best stuff so you guys can get an idea. If you do want to watch some of the lower end stuff, I do shipping videos live on either Saturday or Sunday, depending on if any big events happening on either one of those days. So go ahead and catch me there, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.